It is time to quiet the world around you and to focus onto what really matters, your soul. So let's do some meaningful soul work in this pick a card reading. Hey crew, welcome to another pick a card reading. I'm Lexi, your local lightworker. I thought of bringing you something unique. So I was recently very inspired after I finished reading Judy Hall's book Past Life Astrology to create a reading in which I'm going to explore the specific type of karma that you have. Judy describes in her book a variety of different types of karma. So we've got material here for potentially 2 or maybe even 3 pick a card readings, but I'm going to focus today only on 4 types. So basically, how does this work? I have here 4 postcards. They were sent to me by one of you subscribers, Maria. Thank you kindly for sending these gorgeous postcards my way. I know it's not Halloween time. I'm filming this in June 2025, so we are closer to Lamas than to Halloween. But for some reason, I just felt drawn to them. I don't know. I'm in a weird mood, just back off, let me be, let me live, okay? So I think that they are going to provide an energetic portal into the type of karma that may resonate the strongest with you. I'm going to shift the focus now so you can see them better. For you, group 1, I have here this postcard of the cat who seems so sweet. It's like, oh, I'm innocent. I haven't done anything wrong. I didn't kick the milk off the table. It just fell. And she's sitting on this huge ass pumpkin. We also have here the wise owl with a funky witch's hat. Yeah. For you, group 3, we have this group of trick-or-treat going witches, like witches in the making, witches apprentices. And for you, group 4, we have the OG, the skull, on a bright orange background for Halloween. So yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. You may be drawn towards this if you have some Capricorn or Scorpio or Piscean energy in your chart. So these are the 4 options. Behind them lies your specific type of karma, inspired, as I said, from Judy Hall's book. I'm going to also be pulling some cards. I'm going to be pulling some tarot and oracle cards to give you some glimpses as to how can you cleanse this karma, right? So it's not only about finding out what type of karma you have, but I want to help you understand how you can integrate it in your life, how you can work through it so that you can live a happier, more lightweight life, so that you can attract the things that you want faster towards you, so that you can just enjoy being alive. Okay, I know that in the spiritual community, karma is a word that is being thrown left or right. Some people use it with more discernment than others, but I really am fascinated, and now that I figured out these different types of karma, what specifically is affecting you? Do you have physical karma? Do you have relationship karma? Do you have communication karma? Do you have money-related karma? Which one is it? Well, if you're as curious as I am, then I thank you kindly for being here. Grab something nice to eat, to drink, or cozy up, because this is going to take a while. I filmed about 20 minutes for each reading, so this is going to be interesting. I hope that you enjoyed this reading, and if you do, please remember to like the video so it gets distributed to more people. Please include yourself in my growing family and subscribe, and comment below and let me know how did you find this reading. If you enjoyed, I can create a part 2 in which we can explore a variety of other forms of karma, okay? So without further ado, let's jump into this reading. Let's see, what specific type of karma can you unpack in this lifetime? Hey group 1, welcome to a unique pick a card reading. We are going to explore what is your specific karma in this lifetime. So this is for those of you that were drawn to this cat. She looks a little bit coy, like, I haven't done anything wrong. Why are you looking at me like that for? And she's sitting on this huge pumpkin. Pumpkin in general is associated with the months of October, November, with the harvest season. You could be a Libra Sun or a Scorpio Sun. Pumpkins are usually associated with sacral chakra energy, the seat in our body that is governed by our belly and our sexual organs. So I think that you may have, first of all, you need to get something off your chest because I feel the need to expel some air. There is something here weighing you down. And second of all, you could have some karma related to these centers. So a lot of the psychosomatic symptoms, the way in which you process or you don't process your emotions, they go through your belly and through all sorts of issues related to your reproductive organs. Yeah. So there could be some blocks there related to your capacity to trust other people, to feel creative, to feel sexy, or to feel horny and aroused. You could struggle with these aspects. You could also struggle with food in general, especially with eliminating food. Okay, I want to let you know right now what your karma is. I put the postcard to the side. Yeah, you're here wanting to find out, but you don't want to find out. That's what I'm picking up on. Okay, let's be brave together. Yeah, I'm holding your hand through this whole process. The type of karma that you were given in this lifetime is redemptive karma. Okay, so what is this form of karma? Basically, some of us become reincarnated in order to help other people, or some of us incarnate into a specific group, like some of us are born into cults, some of us are born into very large families, or we are adopted from one region and placed into the other, in order to clear collective karma. If you have been born in a family with a lot of issues, I know that most families have issues, but if you are part of a family where a lot of people have been dying, there have been really strong litigations against your family members, there are some pretty serious diseases that kept being passed on, your parents may have created a lot of wealth on the back of other people's sorrow or demise. Like, for example, you could be living really well, but you know, your family made money out of blood diamonds or slavery, right? Or war and conflict. They profited on those disasters. Well, this is the type of karma that you were given, and that's why you are placed in a specific group. That's why you are dealing with difficult collective dynamics. You are meant to help other people by carrying their pain. You could be having, astrologically speaking, some important Neptunian aspects. The planet Neptune in your birth chart, study its house, its position, and the sign in which you have Neptune, because that would be the key to how you unravel and process this karma. You may need to take all of the negative feelings of the group into which you were born, or the groups that you are going to be part of as you grow older and go through life, such as your group work, the group of people that you encounter in your professional life, or the group of friends that you're part of at school, your schoolmates, your workmates, right? The group of people that you are living within. Like maybe you need to live in a compound situation, right? With a lot of people and sharing a lot of your resources. Well, try not to run away from this. Try not to think, oh, why do I always fall into these weird group dynamics? Well, it's because of this redemptive karma that you need to process, yeah? You are going to be placed in positions of potentially becoming the leader of the group or the spokesperson. People are going to see you as the wise, spiritual person in that specific group, but they could also easily take advantage of your kindness, naivety, and idealism. Yeah. As I said, strong aspects to the planet Neptune. Neptune conjunct the Sun, Neptune conjunct the Moon, Neptune square Mars, Neptune in a tight opposition with Saturn or in a tight conjunction with Saturn. These could be some placements. You may also have North Node conjunct Neptune, a North Node in Pisces. Sorry, I interrupted that message because I keep having them pour in. So check the position of Neptune, see if it makes any important aspects. I'm sure that you have at least an important aspect, a square, conjunction, or an opposition to your personal planets. And also check what you have in your 12th house. The 12th house is the house naturally ruled by Pisces. Pisces is the sign ruled by Neptune. So whatever you have going on there, whatever planets, points, you could be having a couple of asteroids as well. So check for Lilith, Chiron, Pallas Athena, Juno, Ceres, all sorts of things like that. Whatever planets and points you have there, they are giving you some clues as to how you can clear up this karma. That's why it's so important to study your birth chart. And if you struggle with the study of your birth chart, I am here to help, okay? Anyway, coming back to the cards, let's see right now what cards you have. It's the first time I'm doing a reading like this, guys, so bear with me because the messages are like left and right, you know. I'll do my best to organize them for you in a meaningful way. First of all, your tarot cards. I have here the Tarot of the Divine. So I see here the Star blocked. You have great potential of becoming somebody well known, but oftentimes you may find yourself criticized or taken down from your power due to the group dynamics into which you find yourself. Please watch the movie El Casa Lobo, the Wolf House. It's so important. It's about a little girl that escapes a cult that was created in Argentina by an ex-Nazi that went there to create his own church. It is so beautifully created with stop motion animation, but I think it's going to provoke certain feelings inside of you because it's told like a dark fairy tale, like a Grimm Brothers fairy tale. Please go and watch it. It's amazing. We also have here the 10 of Swords blocked. Yes, trying to overcome nightmares, very difficult thoughts. You could be having obsessive thoughts due to some sort of trauma that happened to you at the hands of a group when you were little. So again, at the same time, for those of you, because I know I'm reading here for a large collective, and not all of you were born into situations in which you may have been born in a very wealthy family that has a lot of like difficult karma due to the way that they extracted that wealth, or you were born in a cult, or you were born like in a very weird situation. Some of you could have been born in an orphanage and adopted. Not all of you are going to fall into this category. Most of you are coming from traditional families. I feel like in that specific array, you could have been born an incompatible zodiac sign to the rest of the members of your family. So your family projected onto you things that they didn't like about themselves. You became like the black sheep of the family, right? The wandering son, the wandering daughter, or anything in between if you don't like to gender yourself. I see here the 3 of Coins. Paradoxically, the way to resolve your karma is to collaborate and cooperate with other people. But in order to be able to open up to the idea of partnerships, professional, sentimental, or romantic partnerships, there is some very big karma here that you need to work through, some difficult thoughts, difficult intrusive thoughts that you could be having related to how you were disrespected, devalued, how your boundaries could have been violated, how there may have been this very strong, like you were a person full of worth, very beautiful, very intelligent, and when you were too small to protect yourself or to be even aware of your value and your worth as a human being, other people may have made you feel little in order to make themselves feel powerful. Yeah. So it was a them problem, not a you problem, but you may have grown up with a lot of guilt and shame due to how people treated you, what they said to you, what they have done to you. So I feel like right now you have to heal yourself by not running away from being included in a group, but actually going as much as possible towards group situations. Because you could be afraid of groups. You could have this kind of instinctive post-traumatic stress reaction, you know, like, groups, no, you know, especially if you're bullied. Some of you may have been bullied, right, by your family members and then by the people at school. Because usually people that are bullies at school or are bullied at school, they're usually bullied in their own family as well. You have to heal that thing. And the best way in which you can heal the wound of being bullied is, first of all, to not ever stop talking about it. Talk about your problems. Talk about your feelings. Never stop talking. Don't feel ashamed about sharing, you know, what you have been going through. Join groups, join forums. Try to find self-help material. Definitely go to therapy. 100%. I highly recommend. I've been doing therapy. I've been on both ends, giving it and receiving it. And it's one of the most amazing tools that we have to support each other towards better mental health, towards increased holistic health, and to just feel like you're normal in basically a chaotic, abnormal world. So go towards group related situations. That's how you are going to resolve this redemptive karma. Don't be afraid of carrying other people's heavy feelings, of doing things for the benefit of the whole collective. This is your task. This is your meaning, your life purpose, to heal yourself as you are helping members of a group And by going towards group situations, by facing your fear, you are also healing that inner child image inside of yourself that was maybe abused or disrespected or devalued or bullied at the hands of a group in the past. The worst thing you could do is stay stuck in that past as a small child who's afraid, and to avoid healing yourself by joining new groups as an adult. You have to understand the difference between small you that was powerless and that had to go through this karmic energy, had to shoulder this responsibility, had to bury the cross first, had to go through the pain, and adult you who is reflecting and in some ways also being pretty haunted by what happened to little you. Now, adult you has the power, has the energy, the intellect. You still have those qualities. You're still beautiful. You're still intelligent. You are still, you have the potential to be a star, yeah? To be a person that inspires the masses, that has a really powerful transformational energy. That's kind of the word I'm looking for. Like, you can really change the attitude of a generation. You can really become a role model for a specific group of people, like a larger group of people than the one that you were part of when you were little. But you have to heal yourself by facing your fears, not by allowing them to keep you small and afraid, because you're no longer a small child that is afraid and powerless. You've grown up now, and you have to start doing the work. And the way to clear this redemptive karma, as I said, join groups, be a helpful teammate, as much as possible. Allow people to compliment you, allow them to talk to you, to love you, to help you as well. Don't be afraid of doing things for other people. If you were taken advantage of in the past, that doesn't mean that you're going to be taken advantage of in the present. It's all about your mindset. The more you think about the fear of the past, the more you're going to manifest it. The more you're going to say to yourself, I'm in the present right now. I'm an adult. Nobody can F with me if I don't give them permission to do so. I am going to see this through, and it's going to work out beautifully. I am going to be accepted. I am going to be valued. I'm going to be seen. I won't allow anybody to disrespect me. I am taking care of myself. So that should be your mental mindset, the train of thoughts. Yeah. Not like your train of thoughts should be like a train that moves from your hometown to the seaside. It should be pleasant. It shouldn't be a train of thoughts that is heading forward a collision with another train, right? So the more your thoughts are going to be like, I hate myself, I hate people, they've always disappointed me, they're going to take advantage of me just like the ones in the past have done. Like, the more you do that, you can see how my features have changed as well, right? I'm getting a frown over here. It's kind of like you're creating a train of thoughts that's going to enter into a collision with another person's train of thoughts. And that's conflict, that's sadness, that's pain. You don't want that, yeah? So clear away that, okay? Unfurl your brow and just relax your mind, relax your heart as much as possible. Do all sorts of healing modalities, all sorts of healing techniques, because look, the Emperor, yeah? You can get control back over your life. You can heal, you can regenerate, you can become this powerful leader that you're meant to be. But you have to sort out, first of all, that karmic energy that you have with groups. And here the Emperor also says you can become the leader of your family. You can have your own family. And just because you grew up in an effed up family dynamic, that doesn't mean that you're going to reproduce it in your new family life. Yeah, you stand a good chance of actually correcting some of the mistakes that you suffered at the hands of your own parents. And in certain cases, it may not have been that your parents were the nasty ones, maybe it was a group of children, at kindergarten that bullied you relentlessly, or schoolmates, they constantly devalued and disrespected you, in spite of the fact that you had everything that you need. You were like, you stood a good chance of becoming the most popular kid around you. But it just so happened that this redemptive karma was your cross to bear. It was temporarily blinding you from seeing your true worth. And now as an adult, here it is. You are finally allowed to be who you really were, but the problem is now your mind. The problems are your memories. So don't self-sabotage your chances of living a really excellent life. We have the Star and the Emperor. We have Aquarius and Aries energy. At the moment when I'm filming this reading, I get goosebumps. It's so beautiful because it's fitting so beautifully. Oh, thank you, God. So at the moment when I'm filming this reading, it's in the month of June 2025. In the sky, we have Saturn and Neptune in Aries and Pluto in Aquarius, yeah? The major arcanas that you got here. Begin now. Begin from the moment when you see this reading. Even if you're going to see it in the future, it will be important for you to begin from the moment when you watch this reading to do this inner work of facing your fears, of joining groups even though you may dislike groups, of allowing people to surprise you with how kind they can be towards you. Okay? Because people are kind, people are good. If you treat them with respect, if you treat them with kindness, they will mirror that back to you. But you have a super sensitivity developed due to the fact that you suffered a lot at the hands of groups in the past. So you may enter a group with a lot of negative conceptions, and you stand a good chance of repeating a lot of that abuse, because imagine how it would be if you would be part of a group and there's this newcomer who constantly criticizes the group, or who's constantly like throwing fits and tantrums and doesn't behave properly and doesn't really see the members of the group and doesn't participate in a positive way to the group's activities. Obviously you're going to reject that person, right? Obviously you're going to want to put that person away so that you can continue with whatever you guys were doing as part of that group. So think about other people's perceptions while also staying in touch with your own soul's healing. That's so important. Yeah, so some of you could have been born with Saturn in Aquarius as well. And again, there's the need to develop group empathy, the need to become a really good team player by withstanding a couple of challenges in terms of being part of a team or being an honorable team member, because people with Saturn and Aquarius can have an overdeveloped ego due to the fact that they believe that I want progress, but society is stupid, you know, and how am I going to create progress and innovate and bring the future into the present when nobody actually sees my vision, nobody actually like understands me. Well, have you tried talking to them? Have you tried debating with them, convincing them with words and arguments? Just a suggestion, you know, just a suggestion. Talk to people, get to know them, empathize with them, find out what they need, give them gifts, give them compliments, give them a helping hand when they need it. That's how you make friends. That's how you establish powerful connections. Yeah? You understand that that person needs something, you give them something, that person becomes energetically linked to you, because then they'll have to return the favor in some way. Not because you tell them to, but just because naturally when people feel helped, they feel grateful and they want to help you too. Yeah, that's the energy you want to cultivate in your life. That's the healing energy that's going to help you clear out the karma. Yeah, you were born to do something good for other people. You were born to carry the problems and the energy of a group and transform it into something better. And here are the other oracle cards that I have here for you. The Wheel of Fortune. There is so much good luck that is going to be unleashed if you actually do this work. Yeah, if you work consciously at figuring out, how am I part of a group? How is the group helping me? How is the group hurting me? How am I helping the group? How am I hurting the group? Yeah, so constantly think about the duality, the positive and the negative. But you have to keep these things in mind. And I don't know why, but I'm kind of burping a lot. Have you been drinking something that is like mineral water or beer or something that kind of just makes you burp? We have here Aradia, magic. You could pray to Aradia. She's the badass original witch. She's kind of like a witch of light rather than, for example, Hecate, the mother of all witchy things that also have a bit of a dark signature to them, a dark nuance, if you know what I mean. But for example, Hecate used to dwell underground in the kingdom of Hades. She used to light the path for the souls that were transported from incarnate life to discarnate life, While Aradia was the queen of spring, the queen of fairies, she lived above ground most of the year. So we're dealing here with the presence of a very ancient witchy force. It could be that the redemptive karma that you have to pay at the moment is something that you are bringing to a certain extent from a previous lifetime. You may have been a member of society that was discriminated against, punished by the group, much like witches were burned and tortured because collective energies were projecting onto them their own problems and their own issues. People always like to meddle with independent women who are just doing their own thing and being successful at it, you know, especially women who heal, women who change and transform people, women who give a spark of life back into the collective, yeah? So you may have, by being so awesome, you incurred the wrath of the collective who was not on the same level. And you were brought up into this incarnation with this kind of karma to try to educate a social group so that this social group would stop attacking individuals like yourself who are unique, extravagant, independent to a fault. So use your independence not to become an isolated member of society that bears a grudge. You don't want to follow down the femcel or incel path, right? You want to acknowledge your intelligence while also putting it into the good of the collective. Educate people, teach them, yeah? Create fun, entertaining videos, upload them on YouTube, talk about the things that have been hurting you, talk about your difficult path towards finding integration into a group. There we go. The end of a tough cycle approaches full moon in Capricorn. Maybe you were born with the moon in Capricorn. And I also have here pleasure. Okay, so get ready to experience a lot of joy, a lot of pleasure. You are going to have so much fun in the groups that you're a part of, the family that you're going to create. You are going to be a really awesome dad. If you don't, and I'm saying dad here because I have the emperor, but a really awesome mom as well. You are going to be an awesome leader at whatever you set your mind to achieve. You could be, for example, really good at your business. Maybe you're starting your own business and you want to create a collective. Sorry, I just need to organize my my robe. Yeah, maybe you're going to be very forward thinking in terms of how you dress and style yourself, yeah? So the Emperor here tells me that you've got everything you need to leave behind a successful legacy. The star tells me you're super attractive and popular. No matter what you were made to feel and think in the past, please collaborate and cooperate with people, okay? There is so much more pleasure coming your way. And I also see here that if you put in this work, if you do this redemptive karma, the upcoming full moon in Capricorn is going to give you a really wonderful reward, like in terms of money. And it's funny because I am filming this at the moment in a lunar cycle, which will have exactly 4 weeks from now a full moon in Capricorn. So if you see this video when I release it, get ready, because in 3 weeks time from the moment when you watch this reading, you are going to have a moment of illumination related to the karma in the past life and how close you are to clearing it off, yeah? To a large extent, we can never completely clear up our entire karma because it's a dynamic process in which you take action and your action will have consequences. But the striving towards clearing that karma is what makes the journey so fascinating and what makes your life so worth living and so interesting to reflect upon, okay? Wow, it's a really long reading. I really hope you made it until the end. Please comment down below and leave a piece of fruit or a vegetable, let's say a tomato. Please comment down a tomato if you actually saw this clip all the way through. Thank you kindly for being here, for your support and your love. And I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Bye, Group 1. Hi, Group 2. Welcome to this unique pick a card reading in which I will help you unravel the specific karma that you have in this lifetime. My cat Luna is just resting there, and then I have my other cat Noah. It could be that you're surrounded at the moment by love and family members, or at least this is your desire. I am here to let you know that this is the postcard that you are drawn towards. This clever owl with the nifty witch's hat sitting on top of this carved pumpkin. Do you want to find out the type of karma you have? Yeah? Well, you're in good luck because you got merit karma. Let me explain very briefly what this is. So, the author described this karma as a form of karma that is given to you almost like money in your piggy bank, in your karmic cosmic piggy bank. It is usually shown in your astrological birth chart by easy aspects that you have, especially placed in the second house. Maybe you have Jupiter in the second house or Venus there. Maybe you have the Sun conjunct the Moon, which also shows that you were born on a new moon. So your lifetime is going to be a lifetime of opportunities and all sorts of things growing in your life, left and right. So merit karma is basically the type of karma that you have accrued because you have been doing some really good things in previous lifetimes. It is manifested in this reality as a talent, a specific gift that you were given. Maybe you never get sick, right? Everybody around you gets colds, gets flus, or maybe even more serious conditions that require strength and medication throughout their life, but you never get sick. You could also never get cavities, for example. You know, your teeth are very okay and normal. You don't need to go to the dentist as often as other people. You could be very beautiful. It could be that your parents have handed down some very unique features that make people go like, oh my God, you're gorgeous, you know? There's just something really attractive about you. Or you could have been born with an artistic talent. So for example, you're really good at playing the violin. You can paint, you can sing, you can draw, you can cut clothes and create your own super cool designs. You could be very good with photography. You could have a talent for writing. There is something here that you were giving. There is something here that you were given. I wanted to say as a gift, but I'm trying to avoid repeating myself. Yeah, you could also be very good with words. You could be very poetic in the way in which you write and even how you create your emails and your text messages. There is something so clever, wise, and beautiful about you. Much like, you know, when you see an owl in nature, they are so unique and so beautiful, and it's always like a fascinating apparition. So, merit karma, you're the lucky one. Your karma is not as heavy as the karma of other people. I see here very strong Venusian energy, yeah? So you may have been born as a Taurus or a Libra, or you have Taurus and Libra energy prominent in your chart, in your ascendant as part of your Venus or Mars energy, or it could be on your North Node. You could have a North Node in Libra or a North Node in Taurus, guaranteeing that your destiny is in the hands of Goddess Venus Aphrodite. You are meant to be beautiful, you're meant to grow wealthier the more you age, basically. So merit karma, this is a beautiful energy, and please check in your astrological chart what planets and points you have placed in your second house, because this can tell you a bit more about how this energy is going to play out, and especially the type of gift that you were given. Yeah, for example, if you have Sagittarius energy in the second house, your gift could be having a very robust athletic body. Yeah, your body can do amazing things. So if you start practicing something like ballet or kickboxing or preparing to train for a triathlon, do it, because you will find that your body can do certain things and go all the way more than other people's bodies can. Yeah, or you could be incredibly good, as I said, with colors, with matching colors, with styling yourself, with decorating other people's homes and places. There is just this gorgeous Venusian, creative, fertile energy that is exuding from you as a consequence of all the good work, of all the people you helped in a past lifetime. Yeah, so this didn't come cheaply. You put in a lot of hard work in a previous lifetime. So in this lifetime, you can rest a bit. Yeah, this is a lifetime of a pause. A pause from all the hardships, the karmic hardships. You have to also be mindful that even if this lifetime is easy compared to other people's lifetimes, try not to indulge too much, because exceeding your boundaries, being too hedonistic, taking advantage of pleasure and only focusing on that, pleasure, beauty, you know, sexuality, only giving yourself those things are going to lead to the opposite effect. And in the next lifetime, you may be born with some harsh aspects to your second house, which means that you lived more lavish than you should have, and now you need to pay back some debt. Yeah, so keep in mind the balance. Okay, live well, don't exaggerate, And definitely don't try to spoil the fun of other people, because when you have been given a gift, when you feel like you are God's chosen, yeah, when you get compliments very easily, when people fall in love with you very easily, when your life is not that dramatic or complex, you could turn a little bit into a spoiled person, and you could use your vanity, when, you know, your relationship to your self-love and to yourself could easily turn into vanity, and then you could fall into these weird relationship dynamics where you're stealing the husband or the spouse, the wife of other people, of your best friend. You're, I don't know, competing with your children, or competing with other young people. The older you get, the more insecure you feel about your beauty, so you start competing with people that are young and beautiful and fresh instead of supporting them, right? You could run into these weird problems with your, for example, I'm thinking right now of creating paintings or creating music, creating art, and then falling into these litigations with other artists because I did it first, I saw it first, so copyright here, copyright there. Don't do these things. Okay, as much as possible, refrain from acting outside of yourself. Refrain from acting on ego, because you're going to have to pay back all this karma in the next lifetime. Okay, so just enjoy the ride. You won the karmic lottery, honestly. The cards that I see here as well, we have the 7 of coins blocked, we have the 4 of swords, the wolf, we have the 6 of wands, easy victories, yeah, and we have the page of swords. Okay, interesting. So 7 of coins tells me that this is a lifetime of easy gain with no effort, but you have to trust in this energy. You shouldn't fall into the trap of believing that hard work gets you success. It's not your case, okay? People who have been born with very strong Venusian, Jupiterian energy in their chart, Sun conjunct Jupiter, Venus conjunct Jupiter, Jupiter in the 9th house, Venus conjunct Jupiter in the 2nd house, Jupiter conjunct North Node, Venus conjunct Jupiter conjunct the North Node. You don't create wealth in your life by working hard, right? That's Saturn's energy, that's Pluto, that's Mars. You create wealth by attracting. So it's better to not put in so much work, because you could actually be actively pushing wealth away from you. Be passive. Focus on your hobbies, leisure, and you will see how you're going to begin attracting that very thing that you want. But you have to trust that even if other people may see that you're not putting effort, they may judge you and call you lazy or entitled. Don't listen to other people, because you've got this Venusian energy, you've got this merit karma. So shush the naysayer and continue to live in your beautiful gilded ivory tower and continue to attract towards you love, compliments, and admiration. The more you are in a state of balance, the more you are this Venusian child, Aphrodite's baby, yeah, the more you just pull in towards you opportunities. You don't have to chase, you don't have to be incredibly active, you just have to be in balance, be moderate, be loving, be harmonious, yeah. Show the world beauty, beautify your environment, beautify yourself. Because believe it or not, but this has value. This carries intrinsic value in itself, and it will attract the right people towards you. You stand a good chance of attracting those people that have some very difficult karma, because they are drawn towards how beautiful and easy and lightweight your life looks like. So those very people, you stand a good chance of healing them. 4 of Swords, a lifetime of rest and relaxation. My cat. Yes, my cat is grooming herself. You know, that's what you should do. You need to groom yourself. You need to take good care of yourself. Take good care of other people. Be a very good listener. Just because you are meant to be a bit more passive and not to reach or grab or be super ambitious, that doesn't mean that your life doesn't have worth or value. Don't listen to what late stage capitalism is telling you through advertisements and popular opinion websites and media, news outlets, We all have different karma in this lifetime. We all have different astrological energies. Not all of us have to work so hard in order to live a good life. It just is what it is. We have the Six of Wands, victories left and right, you know, having doors open for you, being the chosen one out of your group of friends, you know, falling in love quite easily and having a lot of people fall in love with you quite easily and wanting to do things for you, giving you gifts, yeah? So if you are listening to this and you're thinking, Lexi, my life is really hard, what are you talking about? You're pushing too hard. You are getting out of yourself. You're listening to other, how do you call them? Pieces of advice in media, instead of actually just working at balancing yourself, balancing your energy, staying in this beautiful, restful energy. Have as role models very beautiful women throughout time, or very beautiful men, people that were taken care of by other people. See how they lived their life. Try to tap into that energy if it's hard for you to understand the energy I'm describing and what I'm talking here about. We have here with the Page of Swords, it will be better for you in this lifetime if you don't communicate as much as you feel pushed by society to communicate. Again, study the signs of Taurus especially. Taurians, especially the women, they have this very beautiful kind of grounded earthy energy, and they don't chat that much, you know, they just say what they need to say. Sometimes it's hard for them to communicate, especially when people come at them with a lot of witty remarks and comebacks. A Taurian would be kind of put off by that kind of exchange, because Taurians like to keep things simple. They like to be in the present, in their body. They enjoy simple things like rest, work, sleep, food, you know, they're trying not to complicate their lives with too many philosophical investigations. That doesn't mean that they are not intelligent. It's just that they're more of a silent, intelligent type, you know? So that's the kind of energy you should be aiming towards. Try to speak less and listen more. Try to communicate less and allow people to come to you for advice and a gentle talk. You would be great in anything that has to deal with one-to-one interactions rather than group interactions. So one-to-one, private, personal interactions, working from home, attracting people towards you in a very gentle way, like allow always clients and things to come to you rather than you chasing them. Allowing people to court you, like you will choose your partner not by chasing after your partner, by putting yourself out there on social dating websites and apps. No, it will come naturally. Allow love to just come into your life and go with the flow when it arrives, okay? Because the partner that God is choosing for you is going to be much better than what you are going to grab, you know, what you are going to set your heart on and chase after. So these are the kind of vibes that I'm seeing here. You just really need to make this merit karma work by allowing the talent that you have to shine through you, and this is how you're going to attract, right? So you can just sit in one place and sing, yeah? Sing and allow your beautiful voice to be heard across meridians, right? Paint, decorate, style yourself, you in yourself. If you were born very beautiful, you are a work of art. You bring people pleasure. People love looking at you. It's relaxing for them to look at you, you know, in a world that can sometimes be overwhelmed with garbage and disaster and chaos. When somebody looks at you and you have taken really good care of yourself, it's like you're an oasis of peace and relaxation for that person, you know? So allow people to look at you, allow people to adore you, to give you gifts, to give you compliments, and at the same time give something back to the collective from, not from a state of fear or from a state of I need to make an income right now, you know? No, that's the wrong approach. You should stay away from that mindset. But from a state of what can I create at the moment? What do I want to put out into the world, you know? What special talent do I have? So it's really important to spend time with yourself and first figure out your talent. We have here as well acceptance, yeah? So this is really beautiful. This is again, I'm thinking very strongly of how Taurian women love, you know? It's a lot about just accepting an individual, not lashing out, not wanting the person to be something different. It's just, this person is who they are, and I just love them, you know, and I am who I am, and I'm just not going to change. This is who I am, you know. There's something very stable, very grounded here. So again, number 4, number of stability. Emotions are running high, the supermoon. You will attract a lot of people that could be a little bit crazy and chaotic. A lot of intensity could be coming your way on the regular, because you have this capacity of accepting the madness of other people and grounding it, thereby transforming it into something simple. Yeah, you calm people's energies. When people are around you, they could be feeling very sleepy. It's like you're changing their awareness, their wavelength. Your energy, when it interacts with the energy of other people around them, it's like you give their aura a different color. They come at you with a red aura or a dark gray aura, and you change it into pure blue, right? Or white or gold. It's just that kind of an energy. You are just like this beautiful physical catalyst, like a rod in the middle of a storm that grounds the electricity from the thunder into the earth so that it doesn't hit other houses or hit other things. So you can imagine how strong you are energetically, yeah, if you're able to do that, to catch thunder and transmute it so that it doesn't destroy you, and you also protect other people. And speaking of strength, there we go. I see here Leo energy as well. So you could be a Leo or a Taurus or a Libra. Yeah. So very powerful solar Venusian energy. Physically, you could also look very robust, very strong, very healthy, you know, like your cheeks could be very round and always pink, or there's just this feeling of, I don't know, maybe you like working out, or you eat very well, you take really good care of yourself, and there's just this glow of health and peaceful tranquility about you, you know. And don't let people bring you down. Don't let people tell you that you're boring or you're lazy or that, you know, I wish I had your life. Well, let them be, because they have a different type of karma than you have, okay? Your merit karma has given you a lease on life, has given you a very peaceful existence in this incarnation. Don't dramatize your life for the sake of trying to look more interesting. Don't chase after things and values that you see around you just because society, friends, family are telling you should be going for that, you should be doing that, you know. Don't boss up your life when in reality you are meant to be Mother Earth, right? There's just this archetype of Earth goddess, you know, Venusian goddess, very centered. Like I see you as the backbone of your family, right? And children are playing crazily around you, and you're just like very calmly accepting everything and not really freaking out over things, because you just understand that this is natural, this is the order of things. And I see here birth. I see here as well that most of you could be like your destiny in life could be to just start a family, to just have a family, to be a stay-at-home wife or partner, a spouse, and to take care of your family and to accept them and to love them. So it would be important, you see, mother fulfillment. Yeah, becoming a mother would be something that would make you very happy. So if you're struggling with these concepts, if you're worried, if you feel like you're starting to have some sort of neurodermatitis, you know, you're starting to itch just hearing that, you will be made happy by the role of a mother, then it could be time for you to begin investigating and looking into why you are feeling so put off by this idea of becoming a parent. Keep in mind that being a parent doesn't necessarily mean that you have to give birth biologically. In this day and age, there are so many ways in which you can take care of life by adopting pets, by working towards the creation and conservation of a garden, right? By adopting children or working with children. They don't necessarily have to be your own. You can do adoption from a distance. There are so many ways in which you can care and nurture for life and beings. They don't necessarily have to be from the same species as you. So keep that in mind, yeah? As a Mother Earth energy, as a mother figure, I feel like even if you're a man, you have this maternal energy very strongly emphasized in your chart. You could have some strong aspects between your moon and your Venus. And I feel like your mother is an important role model for being a caring individual. So you have this physical strength, this robust, healthy energy, but it's paired up with this emotional strength. Yeah, you are able to withstand a lot of hardships, and you are able to empower other people to feel stable and calm in the eye of a storm. And at the moment, this is your time, because Pluto in Aquarius is bringing up so much chaos into the collective that people will come towards you for your wise, stable, calm energy. Yeah. So you are right where you have to be. You are doing exactly what you should be doing. If you feel like you're not becoming this boss babe or, I don't know, conqueror, emperor, then calm down. This is not your lifetime. This is not, it's not something that will work out for you. This works out for other people. You are meant to live beautifully, artistically, privately. You are meant to focus on beauty, love, acceptance, yeah? And you are meant to calm energies around you. You are not meant to be dramatic and to live life full speed ahead. On the contrary, you are meant to be quite silent and receptive to other people's needs. You will be incredibly successful even as you rest. That's actually when you attract the most good luck towards you. When you rest, when you don't stress out, when you take good care of yourself, when you focus on beauty, on creation. And this Seven of Coins block, right? So this is not a lifetime of hard work, of blood, sweat, and tears. No. On the contrary, if you are engaged at the moment in a period of blood, sweat, and tears, stop whatever you're doing, because you're just actively working against your abundance. Take a step back, rest, sleep, relax, focus on the simple things like, am I getting enough sleep? Am I getting good food? Am I hydrating myself? And the more you're going to focus on these things, the more they're gonna come towards you. And you're gonna be thinking like, oh wow, people are just randomly giving me money. Oh wow, I'm getting gifts. Oh wow, I'm getting these, people are asking me, why don't I create this thing, and they're gonna give me a lot of money for it. So I'm like, okay, let's create. Yeah, that's how you're going to move forward in life, yeah? Active creative visualization is also gonna help. So before going to bed, thinking about the life you want to live. Yeah, that's also gonna help. I'm going to end the reading here. I've been speaking for about 23 minutes. These readings are a little bit lengthier because I really want to get in depth and give you as many details and as many clues as possible as to how you can work with this karma. Congratulations, you actually won the karmic lottery, so just enjoy the ride. Thank you kindly for listening to me, and I hope I can see you in my next one. Bye, Group 2. Hi Group 3, welcome to this unique pick a card reading in which I will help you understand what specific type of karma you have in this lifetime. So this reading is for those of you that were drawn to this 3 little small girls or witches trick-or-treating for Halloween. Are you ready to find out the type of karma you have? Okay, I'll ease you through it, don't worry. So you were given organic karma. Okay. Let me explain a little bit what this karma is about. It has to deal with certain excesses that you gave into in a previous lifetime that are now being expressed as health problems. Certain conditions that you underwent, such as you went to war in a previous lifetime and you got hit in the back, and now you have chronic recurrent back pains in this incarnation, because of the wounds and the injuries you sustained in a past life. So this is not necessarily your fault in the sense in which you were attacked by other people or there were weather phenomena that you fell victim to, right? For example, if you were hit by lightning and you have an acute sensitivity to hearing in this lifetime, that's not your fault. That just happened, right? But in other situations, this organic karma also comes about when you drank too much, ate too much, partied extensively. You could have been a member of a wealthy upper class And instead of doing the work for your family or helping the people that were looking up at you as a leader, you indulged, right? So you were all about pleasure and the hedonistic Dionysian lifestyle. And now in this lifetime, you suffer the consequences. And the consequences are usually expressed in symptoms throughout your body. You may have actually been born with a broken limb or with poor eyesight, with a certain sensitivity, maybe with like you have problems with breathing. You could have all sorts of like issues with your skin. There could have been something that happened to you in childhood, like you almost drowned or you got into a car crash, or all sorts of random things, you know, may have suddenly appeared in your life that gave you a condition that you need to maintain. Like you need to go to the doctor regularly, you need to take your pills, your medicine. You are not supposed to do certain things in this reality, in this lifetime. And you may have always wondered, why? Why do other people get to abuse their bodies and just live so freely, but I have to take my medicine each month? I have to go to the doctor, I have to go and have physiotherapeutical help, and I need to learn how to walk or see or hear, or I'm always caught up with these devices, I'm always kind of limited in my capacity to move, to speak, to walk, to exist. It's because of this, yeah? Organic karma has hit your destiny. And this is why at the moment, you may need to rely on the help and support of other people in your life. In the past, you abused your independence, you abused your right of freedom. And in this lifetime, I think some of you could have even been born in prison, or you may have parents that had to be in prison for a period of time. You may have been separated from them. And it's because of this. It's like, there are limits to your capacity to indulge. There are limits to your capacity to be free because you abused this right in a previous lifetime. Yeah? Now, you don't have to be too sad, because apparently it is considered by a lot of philosophers that we tend to incarnate several times. So this is not the only lifetime in which you get to experience certain things. This is just one of them. So I don't know if this thought makes you feel better, makes you cope with whatever it is that you're struggling with. You may have been born, astrologically speaking, with a lot of energy in the 6th house, or there is a very strong planet there in the 6th house that is creating aspects to all the other personal planets, like Saturn maybe is placed in your 6th house and it is squaring your sun, and maybe trining your moon, and maybe squaring your Neptune, or sitting in opposition with your Neptune, thereby kind of like unleashing this web of energy that could be a bit tense or frustrated. So the 6th house is considered to be the house of the everyday things we do to support our health and our bodies. And it is also considered by ancient astrologers to be traditionally the house of healing and pain. It is the house of the witchy herbal doula, the one that helped women give birth, that then became considered as a symbol of the persecuted witch. It is the energy of Virgo. Virgo is considered to be the hermit, but also the medic of the zodiac. And it is making aspects to the 12th house. And the 12th house is the house of Pisces, and it's the house of self-undoing. Wow, and my cats just had at it right in the moment when I said that. So there could be a lot of conflicts and tensions in your life, in your immediate surrounding environment, or tensions towards you getting access to medicine, tensions related to you being able to move around your neighborhood. If you are bound by a wheelchair, if you're wearing a prosthetic arm or a prosthetic leg, it could be very difficult to move around in your area. Like you need specific ramps, you need specific lifts and elevators and all sorts of things to help you go around. There could be some tensions in your family as well. Maybe there's a parent that feels burdened by the fact that they have to help you or take care of you all the time. There could be some fights and tensions that erupt because of these codependencies, because of the fact that people feel like they have to care for you. You don't want to feel like a burden on anyone, but at the same time you can't help it, so on and so forth. There is kind of like a difficult family cycle that kind of erupts into conflicts from time to time. So yeah, as I was describing the energy of the witch, the cats behind me started arguing. So I would recommend, I wanted to say you shouldn't use witchcraft to heal yourself, but I'm kind of holding back from saying this because I'm looking at the cards. I want to first see the cards, okay? And then I'm going to say, because I do think that studying the occult, studying herbal healing, using teas and spells and crystals and occult ways of healing yourself is important in how you cope with emotions that are presenting themselves as psychosomatic symptoms in your body. Because as you know, there is a very strong link, mind, body, soul, and if one of them is not okay, if the soul is in conflict, if the body is wanting something but the mind is saying you cannot have it, it's producing this really strong energy in the soul, which is kind of like making it go in two directions at the same time. And this can show up in all sorts of issues, like you suddenly have itchy skin, or you can't sleep at night, you have nightmares, you have a dry throat, right? You have problems breathing. All of these things, psychosomatic symptoms, sometimes, most of the times, have roots anchored in emotions, unprocessed emotions, and a deep internal conflict between the mind and your body. So let's see what the cards have to say. Yeah, the moon blocked. Yeah. It's very important for you to focus on your dreams, to focus on your emotions. You really need to understand that your relationship to your mother is the key to your healing in this lifetime. However difficult, however estranged your connection to your mother may be, choose to reflect upon it. Choose to see it as much as possible in an objective way. Choose to see your mother's faults, but also her strengths, right? Choose to understand her relationship with you from her own point of view, while also keeping in mind your own experienced reality of that connection. So the moon speaks about things that happen in the dark, things that are not clear, especially when the moon is obscured. An obscured moon, a reversed moon card, is usually talking about an eclipse. It's about the void face of the moon in which nothing can grow. So you may be feeling blocked in this lifetime, almost like, I can barely take care of my own body. How can I bring a family into this reality? How can I create things into this reality? Sorry, we got interrupted by one of my cats using her litter box. So again, cleansing your energy, cleaning your body is going to require a lot of focus and dedication in this lifetime. I see here with the Fool card, believe it or not, but what you are dealing with in this lifetime, and especially in the first part of your life, the period from birth until your first Saturn return, so around the age of 30, that's the hardest part. In this incarnation, you have been given physical symptoms that you need to work hard in the first part of your life throughout your childhood and youth in order to cleanse, to clean, to perfect. You need to be very disciplined. But after the age of 30, and that annoying police alarm outside, which is again bringing an extra alarm in context to the importance of this message I'm saying to you right now. After the age of 30, you will be released from this organic karma. Saturn is going to cut the karmic contracts. So you will feel that after the age of 30, your life improves. Yeah, things are gradually going to become better. You may need to use less medicine. You may need to exercise or be less disciplined than how you were in the past. You may suddenly have a free, green light to, I don't know, drink some alcohol, because maybe in the past you weren't allowed to do that, or you get a green light to eat some sweets or to travel, right? You've always wanted to travel, but you were never in that position. It was never safe. And after your first Saturn return, you finally feel like the ban has been lifted and you can go and do some things that were not accessible to you in the first part of your life, as you were clearing the vast majority of this organic karma bulk that you brought with you from previous incarnations. The Fool here is a new beginning. In this lifetime, if you do the work to clear this organic karma, if you work with your body, if you process your feelings, if you get to the root at what feelings exactly are affecting all the symptoms in your body, you will get like a complete makeover. You are this kind of person that maybe when you were small, you were constantly in bed sick and people never gave you any chance of making it past your 5th birthday. And then in your 30s, you could become like, you could go through this amazing life change and you look healthier, stronger, more beautiful, more dynamic than you ever were, right? And people are like amazed, like, what? Oh my God, you know? And then you gradually get to do all the things you wanted to do, to earn your own living, to move into your own household, to live independently, to have your own family, to travel, I don't know, to have pleasures of many different kinds. So don't worry, because this organic karma is usually paid in the first part of your life. In the second part of your life, you're going to feel like you're finally beginning to live again. And then on your second Saturn return, around the ages of 65 and 67, you are going to feel like, I'm here, I'm grounded, I'm stable, I have accomplished a lot of the things I've always wanted to do. Yeah, that's going to be harvest time for you. So other cards that I see here, the Devil, yeah, and I see the Knight of Wands. So the only way you're going to defeat this devil energy that you were born with, this bad luck, especially in terms of your body, your health, is by being perseverant, by being consistent and driven and optimistic. I can do this. I will heal myself. I am going to follow the advice of the doctors. I am going to do what's necessary. I'm not going to cut corners. I'm not going to run away from this responsibility. I will take good care of myself. So the more you adopt this mindset, the more successful you will be at defeating this negative energy surrounding you. Okay, now I understand why I felt earlier guided to tell you don't use the occult. Yeah, don't use especially black magic, dark magic, however you want to call it, but magic that usually appeals to the summoning of demons to get to do your bidding. Don't do that. Stay away from that, okay? No matter how cool it is to think that, ooh, I'm becoming bad, I'm falling into the dark side, you know? No, stay away from that crap, okay? It's never good to invoke demons. Demons could usually give you results and outcomes in a quicker way than angels would. But don't invoke them. Don't do that. Don't cut your chances of living a good life short, yeah? Because usually demons give you things quicker, but it comes with a much bigger, you know, interest rate. You're gonna have to pay back that through potentially a number of lifetimes in slavery or in deep pain, and you don't want to do that, yeah? You're here to clear this organic karma, not to multiply it. So if you want to do magic, if you want to work with the occult, if you want to spiritualize your healing process, do it in a light worker way. Do it by only casting spells upon yourself, not on other people. Do it responsibly. Make sure that you're taking all the necessary precautions to protect yourself. Work with individuals that have experience and that believe in the light and actually access a lot of white magic rituals, not anything else. And try as much as possible to allow your belief in heaven, your belief in angels to guide you towards improving yourself. So if you do it with the intention of improving yourself, healing yourself, it's going to pay off beautifully. But if you do it with the intention of manipulating other people to do your bidding, it's never gonna end well, you know? The Knight of Wands here tells me that Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius people are going to be really helpful to you in empowering you to keep going. And especially, I think like your soulmate is going to be one that will be born under a fire sign. And this will be a person of the same age as you that's going to bring a lot of fun, optimism, and courage in your life. I highly recommend that you watch the movie, oh my god, it wasn't called To the Bone. But there is a movie with Lily Collins called To the Bone. Maybe you need to watch it. It's with Keanu Reeves and Lily Collins. But I wanted to say, yes, Rust and Bone. Go and watch that movie. It's about a very unusual love story between two individuals that kind of have been relegated to the outskirts of society, but they find a meaningful way of healing each other. And she has actually been disabled due to a terrible accident at work. And she's a very beautiful woman that all of a sudden doesn't want to keep living. And he is this kind of like boxer who's kind of struggling to parent his own child. And he heals her and he helps her through his physicality. And she helps by healing his heart and empowering him to be the man that he always wanted to be. It's such a gorgeous movie, yeah, with Matthias Schoenaerts and Marion Cotillard. Go and watch Rust and Bone. It will give you life. Like if you're feeling depressed, if you're struggling with all sorts of physical symptoms, this movie, I guarantee, is gonna give you back your strength, or at least entertain you for 2 hours at least. So, done with the movie recommendations. Coming back, we have here the Judgment card. Okay, so yeah, you are in this lifetime, karma piled upon you, difficult physical circumstances so that you can rise above from them. You are the phoenix in this incarnation, Pluto power, baby. Yeah, so don't worry, whatever condition you may have been born with. Some of you have been born with inherited karma from the family, right? You can heal it, you can treat it, yeah? You can even work and study hard to understand the condition in which you find yourself and thereby come up with a cure that will not only heal you, but heal other people around you. So I see that whatever you're going through, believe it or not, is a blessing in disguise. I also see here protection. Don't worry, because you are always protected. You could be feeling so vulnerable due to this health condition, due to these symptoms, due to your body not really cooperating with you and feeling like you can't control it. But you are protected, you are loved, you are held. We see here the balanced phase of the moon. It's the first quarter moon or the last quarter. It's one of my favorite time of the moons because everything is balanced. It's in moderation. There is harmony. The energies are split between light and dark, but they are held together in perfect harmony. So don't worry if you feel like you owe your family so much, you owe your relatives so much because they've been helping you and they've been putting up with so many cutbacks and challenges because of you. Don't worry, because I see that there is going to be a phenomenal shift in the middle of your life, like a phoenix moment, that will help you feel empowered, and it will also help you give back to them and support them. And I think that to a large extent, if your family and relatives have suffered alongside with you, the biggest reward that you can give them is to live well, to be healthy. That's the biggest reward. Like, you don't need to do much. You just need to survive and be healthy. And I'm sure that all the people that took care of you are going to be more than satisfied with that outcome. Like, you don't have to become the most intelligent person in the world to give back to your family for having helped you. We also have here maiden, innocence. So this is a lifetime of getting rid of this mindset of I am the victim, everything wrong is happening to me, and you need to kind of like shrug this off and understand that I am getting a new beginning, I'm getting a new chance at life. I can see life with fresh eyes, with new eyes. I'm opening up to this idea that my life will transform into something much better. Yeah. It's again this energy of the Judgment card, coming back from the dead. It's about, like, the Judgment card was created with the idea of Christ's resurrection in mind. You know, the Christian Orthodox idea that Jesus Christ died and then came back, right, from the dead around Easter time, and showed itself, like he transcended the pain of the body and became this incredibly phenomenal spiritual leader through his rebirth. Yeah. So that was the moment of big transformation. That was the decisive moment in which all of the naysayers completely fell to his side, right? So it's also something that I feel you will be given. Like, if you feel like your plight in life is very difficult due to these physical symptoms, it will change. Your good luck will change. Yeah. And you're going to feel transformed in the middle of your life. I also see here you and your loved ones are safe. Yeah, new moon in Cancer. So I see very strongly that if it is your desire to have a family, you will be able to create your own family. You will be able to give back to the family and the relatives and the people that have helped you, your parents, if they supported you, and you feel guilty for everything that they had to go through in supporting you. Don't be. They did it out of the kindness of their heart, and you are, by living well, by living healthy, by having your own family, you can give back to them as well. Yeah, so it's very beautiful. It's a gorgeous energy. It's also a new moon energy, so you will be given this new start, this fresh energy, this new beginning. And I'm kind of choking with emotion because I'm feeling, called out. I mean, I've also been a person that struggled a lot with health issues. Story time with Lexi. I was born with a North Node conjunct Jupiter in Aries, so very feisty energy, which affected my circulatory system and my heart, in the 6th house. So Jupiter in the 6th house amplified all sorts of symptoms. I was very sick. I was a very sick child. I had all sorts of issues. I constantly was being held in casts and being sent to physiotherapy sessions, and I had glasses and I had braces, and my back, suffered from scoliosis. Unfortunately, I still have it, and I had pimples and zits and all sorts of neurodermatological problems, which stemmed from feeling rejected by my own mother, not feeling accepted into my own family. But the older I grew up and the more I became aware of these things, I studied, I learned, I went to therapy, I reflected on my relationships, and then I started healing myself in spiritual, occult ways, the more magical my life became. So if I didn't have these issues in the first part of life, I wouldn't be sitting here today in front of you doing this pick a card reading for you. So I hope that by sharing this story with me, I can empower you as well to see whatever you're going through, not as a punishment, but as a chance to transform your life and to break out of the traditional mold into which maybe people around you are trying to fit you in. You have your own life, you have your own organic karma to deal with. Create your life as you want. You may be a late bloomer because of these problems, but don't worry, because what is meant for you will come towards you, right? So keep being loving, keep supporting your family members, try to let go of guilt and shame. What you have at the moment is just a consequence of some of the indulgences in a previous lifetime, or some of the attacks and accidents that happened to you, the injuries that happened to you in a previous lifetime. So I hope that this awareness can calm you down, can help restabilize your nervous system. I hope you sleep well tonight, and I hope that you heal from whatever is paining you at the moment. Hope to see my next one as well. Take care. Bye, group 3. Hi group 4, welcome to this unique pick a card reading in which I'm going to do my best to help you understand what was your specific karma and what do you need to work through in this lifetime. So this is for those of you that were drawn to the skull with this bright orange background, this Halloween energy, and the type of karma that you have. Are you ready? Okay. Symbolic karma. This is a type of karma that may not be obvious to begin with. It's a karma that is related to 2 aspects in your life: your job and the way in which you communicate. So in a previous lifetime, you may have thought something but said something completely different. And this hypocrisy, this energy of hypocrisy may have been created. It will be exemplified at the moment in this lifetime through certain planets and points that are making aspects to your natal Mercury. So check in your astrological chart where you have Mercury, in which house and in which sign, and if it's making any lines to any other planets or points. Normally in astrology, it is believed that the 3rd house, the house ruled by Gemini, is the house of gossip. We then have the 6th house, which is considered to be the house of everyday communication and administration, like written paperwork. We have the 9th house, which is the house of ideology, like these beliefs that we carry with us, or the religious belonging that we feel. And then we have the 12th house, the house of slander, right? So gossip that could really end up hurting your entire family. It can end up with lawful litigations and so on and so forth. So these could be part of your incarnation at the moment. You may have been, for example, in a previous lifetime, in terms of your profession, a person who tortured witches, yeah, or ducked them into the water. You know how they used to duck witches and throw them into the water to see if they float? You could have been one of those people, right, that pointed the finger and was part of the angry mob, right, that was not only attacking witches, but maybe also attacking people based on racial segregation, right? Well, in this lifetime, you could have a profession in which, for example, if you ducked witches into water in a previous lifetime, in this lifetime, you may have a problem wetting your bed, right? Or you could be working with children who pee themselves a lot. You could be working with liquids and needing to contain liquids or clean liquids. At the same time, if in a previous lifetime you were spreading gossip, malicious gossip, slander, in this lifetime you could be working for a tabloid. You could have to process a lot of fake news or poorly written information. You could also have to withstand a wave of slander and gossip that is coming your way. There could be people trying to take you down and cancel you. There could be issues with you getting degrees and certificates and having good collaborations with people overseas. So, symbolic karma takes a little bit of effort to understand, but primarily the way that I understood and how it may work is that you need to pay attention to communication and your profession. Now, I know that being a bedwetter is not a profession necessarily, it is like a physical symptom, but maybe in a previous lifetime you murdered a lot of people, and in this lifetime, for example, you incarnated and you keep getting opportunities to work as a butcher. Yeah, nobody wants to do that job. You're the person that always gets recommended for that job. Why is that? Symbolic karma, yeah? So this is just to help you understand, why do you keep being chosen for certain types of professions and why do you keep being drawn towards certain occupations? But let's see what the cards have to say. So let's nuance this energy. We have here, yeah, the Queen of Coins, yeah. So we have earth sign energy, maternal earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. You could have been born in a family in which the mother was very materialistic, almost to the point of being narcissistic. She's taking care of her needs while she was neglecting yours, right? So this is a mother who, for example, would have spent all of the paycheck that she got on articles of beauty, on going to, I don't know, doing her nails and like getting beauty treatments, buying expensive jewelry, while she forgot to cook for you or buy you clothes or make sure that you're clean and warm and kept safe. Yeah, so we're dealing here with the materialistic mother figure, an energy in which I feel like from a young age it's been drilled into your mind that loving people is good, but you should love money more, you know? So be careful. Your relationship with money, your relationship with your profession carries a lot of karmic energy, and you could be drawn towards these opportunities of getting rich quick, and you may end up involved in pyramid schemes or scams, and you may end up having to pay fines, and thereby you're being kept in this cycle of basically a lack mentality, a lack mindset. I also see here with the Death card, this is the card of transformation, Scorpio energy. You could be wondering, why aren't people valuing me as much as I know I am worth? Why do I always end up in these intense, dramatic moments and relationships? And why do I never have money, you know, to pay for everything that I need? Well, because I feel like you are afraid of money. True abundance isn't necessarily just money. you may be having quite a limited perspective on money, and it is connected to this symbolic karma. Money could be denied to you also because you are being kept away from a certain degree of power. You had a lot of power in a previous lifetime and you misused it. You used it to attack other people. Yeah. So in this lifetime, you could be kept away from the very things that you want, money, power, trust, because it's almost like the divine is saying, you use more than you could handle and there's not much left for you in this lifetime, so you're going to have to do without in this incarnation. But there is a point, I see here with the death card, it's not all lost, don't worry. There is a point of transformation, and I see here that the transformation needs to happen with you sharing your gifts with the world. Like, the more you work in the service of other people, the more you work to help other people, to inspire them, to lead them, to coach them, to be on stage, to talk to them, to teach the younger generation, yeah? The more you are going to clear away this karma, and the more you are going to work through the ways in which you have harmed people as part of the collective into which you are part of, you're going to deal with that. You're going to let it go. Sorry, I think I expressed myself a bit too complicated there. We have here the Hanged Man, and we have here the Nine of Cups. A lot of the wishes that you are making will be a little bit frustrated in this incarnation. I'm really sorry to say this. There will be periods of great waiting. Yeah, you will be kept in limbo. And that's because you have to learn how to cope with the unknown. You have to hold a lot of uncertainty in this reality. The best thing you can do while you are holding on to something, while you are waiting for your wish to come true, while you are hoping and praying that an outcome is going to turn out the way you want it to, the best thing you can do is to figure out, how can I give of myself, of my skills, of my abilities to other people? How can I make other people's lives better? How can I improve them? How can I help them out? The more you're going to fall into this helpful energy, the more you're going to burn through the karma of a previous lifetime. In a past lifetime, through your words and your actions, you hurt other people. In this lifetime, you need to help them. You need to rescue them. So jump into situations that require you to be the hero or the heroine. Never let a friend down. If people come to you with help, could you please help me with this? Could you please lend me some money? Could you please, always say yes. It's so important for you to not turn people down, because the more you do it, the more you clear the karma away from you. Yeah. Obviously, there will be situations when certain people are going to try to scam you, or they're going to try to take advantage of you. So it will be a situation in which you'll need to use your capacity to discern. But if a friend, a relative, a person that you hold near and dear, if you know them, and they come to you with help, never turn them down, okay? So differentiate between acquaintances and people that you love. Those people that you love that come to you for help, you should never turn down. Acquaintances or random strangers, you may turn down, obviously, because you need to protect yourself as well. But I'm here to let you know that if you're feeling at the moment that you're frustrated in your capacity to fulfill a wish, if you feel that what you desire is not materializing, if you feel like you're always kept like in limbo, like waiting, needing to patiently wait, it's because of this karma, and you need to change the way you think and the way you speak to other people if you want to get out of this impasse. Yeah? So, two things come into hand. Being aware of your symbolic karma. You effed up in a previous lifetime pretty badly. That's where you're being frustrated in this incarnation. Don't worry, you're being given a second chance to redeem yourself. And the way in which you can do it is by complimenting other people, speaking well of them, writing things in their name or helping them write some documents, being a good spokesperson for a group, defending people. You may be drawn towards becoming a prosecutor, a lawyer, defending people in front of other people, whereas in the past you accused them. In this reality you have to protect them. Yeah. So I hope this makes sense. Whereas in the past you made the person intimidated, anxious and afraid because of the power that you were holding, in this incarnation, you may have to go through certain periods when another person is going to use their power against you, and you just have to bear with it, right? And then after that period of maybe abuse or misuse of power ended, you can come up on stage and tell people, look, this is what happened. This is how this individual has been treating me. This is not correct. This is not lawful. You know, like you should get your payback on people with facts, with documented procedures. And you should never take vengeance on somebody that has misused their power against you just through your own hands, because you're only going to fall deeper into this pit of symbolic karma. What you need to do is to understand that if some negative things happen to you, they're connected to this karma, and you're not supposed to just put up with them all throughout your life, you know, and allow people to just abuse you. No, but if a certain abuse happens in your lifetime and you're taken by surprise, document that abuse as much as possible so that you have evidence, so that you can prosecute this person and protect other people from that person as well. Yeah, this can be workplace abuse, this could be sexual abuse, this could be any form of abuse, you know, financial abuse, verbal abuse. It doesn't have to be like one thing, one specific thing. I'm not seeing here a specific pathway, but I am seeing that you're supposed to be a whistleblower. You're supposed to be this person that says the truth. Rather than spreading gossip, rather than creating moments of slander, you are now meant to go through the difficult task of undergoing a difficult life event that will cause you some pain, but you will use that pain and that anger to speak up and defend yourself by appealing to the rule of law, by appealing to regulations, by finding details that could really lock a case, you know, in prosecuting a certain perpetrator. In other cases, you may not be the one, depending on the position of other planets in your chart, you may not be the one that is having to withstand this difficult life event. You could be the one that is just protecting victims from perpetrators, from predators. Let's see the other cards that you have. Yeah, we have here the Star, Aquarius energy. And Aquarius energy is usually, it's very interesting because Aquarians, they're not necessarily given easy lives. Some of them have to undergo certain traumatic events that help them become aware of certain things long before other people around them are aware. So they use their capacity to understand an event to create something different, like a new structure. Like, for example, let's say you're an Aquarius and you're growing up in an area of conflict, and you witness a lot of traumatic events, people being killed, murdered, raped, you know, sold into slavery. You survive, and then by using your intelligence and your capacity to clearly communicate what you have seen, you create a foundation that helps to rescue people from such situations, and not only that, but prevents such things from happening, right? So you become like a peacekeeper or the organizer of a humanitarian group, you know. So that's kind of the energy that I see here, you know, like a person that has gone through difficulties in their life due to this symbolic karma and ends up becoming the defender of the people, the humanitarian, the teacher, the educator, the person that has the courage to show up and tell people the facts, the truth, so that people can understand an event, so that people can know how to act and know in which direction they should sanction somebody, or where to donate some funds, or where to send some resources. Yeah, it's a bit of a difficult karma, I'm not going to lie to you, but it is so important. Like, working through your karma is so important for society at large. We also have here balance. Yeah, so in order to clear this karma, you're not supposed to give in to extreme emotions. This is a lifetime of keeping your emotions on an evil plane. Evil. Even, right? E-V-E-N. Yeah. So you're meant to hold a lot of your emotions in, to not erupt, to not be volcanic, to not be passionate. This is not a lifetime of passion for you. You may have been born with the moon conjunct Saturn, moon conjunct Pluto as well, moon in Capricorn, moon in Scorpio. You are basically meant to understand the dark side of human nature, but not act upon it, but find a way to bring light into it, to help heal it, to transform it, to search for the truth in the darkness in order to change it for the better. So you're meant to be very balanced and to create a lot of balanced, equitable relationships between people in society. So that's why I feel like becoming a lawyer, a prosecutor, a judge, becoming the leader of a humanitarian organization, working in a profession in which you defend people, right? You fight for them, you fight for a good cause. This would be perfect for you to clear up your karma. I also see here as well midwife, birth, and I see here a fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries. You've got a lot of intense emotions brewing up inside of you, but you're not meant to give in to them. You're meant to use your anger in constructive ways to kind of manage it as best as you can, and to allow this passion, this sense of righteousness that gets activated inside of you when you see harm being done to other people or to yourself. Don't lash out in the moment and strike back, but have the courage to withstand whatever difficulty you're going through, and then systematically attack it with facts, with knowledge, with laws, with regulations, by gaining support from powerful people, because then you are not only going to destroy your enemy, you're gonna bury them in the ground, and you're gonna build a beautiful new foundation on top of that grave. Yeah, so that's a revenge that lasts for a long time, a revenge that has within it new life, new healing, transformation. It's not just revenge for the sake of revenge, because that never works out, you know. That just creates karma for you and the other person. Your souls are linked for a lifetime. This nemesis will come back and haunt you in the next lifetime. No, don't do that. Okay, Scorpios, I see you. Don't do that. I see you're tempted to do that, especially if you're a Scorpio with the moon in Aries. Try to refrain from doing that, my loves, because it will only lock you into this terrible, terrifying soul dynamic with a person that will keep being reincarnated to frustrate you lifetime after lifetime. So it is much better to attack this in a movement kind of way. Yeah, like for example the Me Too movement, right? Don't just attack the person that abused you, but garner a movement, and behind that movement get everybody to heal and to come up with their own truth and to speak up against injustices. That's the best way to do this thing, because you will not only go down in history, but you also change something for society, not only for your circumstances. It's not easy. I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy. It's frustrating. Yes, I know, I understand. But you have the potential here of being a brave pioneer. You have the potential to make history. I'm not lying. I mean, look, see, we have here the star, and it's upright. Because I think group 1 or group 2 had the star, but it was blocked. I think it was group 1, because we were talking about being bullied in group 1. You have it upright. You are this incredibly popular person. You attract towards you people with ease. You make friends in any port. No matter where you are in the world, people come to you. You're very likable, intelligent. You're very well-mannered and educated. Use this power, because it is a power. It may be a soft power. You may be feeling like, oh, sometimes I just wish I would have muscles and punch people, you know. I know there's a lot of anger that you need to cope with in this lifetime, but systematically harness the power and the passion of this anger and strike at it with facts, knowledge, and information. Strike on your abuser by telling everybody what this person has done to you. Show up receipts, show up imagery, photos, videos, whatever you have. Show the world what has happened. Document everything, you know. From the moment when you get this intuition that, uh-oh, this person is weird, or uh-oh, I'm not feeling so good about this partnership, or uh-oh, what am I signing up for? Begin documenting, yeah? Because you have been given the power and the energy to withstand such things, to survive them, and to speak up about them. Yeah. And it's part of your healing process, and it's part of you getting rid of this nasty form of symbolic karma. And it's a way of healing your soul from you being a perpetrator of abuse in a previous lifetime. So you're healing your heart from that terrible karma by helping, defending, speaking the truth on your behalf and on behalf of other people that may have fallen into the same circumstances that you are struggling with. Wow, group 4, our hero, our heroine. I hope this helps. I hope it wasn't too heavy. You guys know that I read the cards as they come up. I read the cards as I see them. I know that not all the time you will get wonderfully positive messages, but I always try to empower you through what I see. And I'm going to continue to keep doing this work because I owe it to myself. It's the integrity of me being a light worker and a tarot reader, and this is what it is. So even if I lose popularity by not giving you sugar-coated readings all the time, I would rather be open, truthful, to read you the cards as I see them and to tell you what you need to hear, because for those of you out there who are open to these bouts of awareness, it will mean the world to you to hear the truth as I see it in the cards. So I hope you understand this. I hope you don't take it personally out on me. I would tell you wonderful things if I could all the time, okay? But I think that part of the healing process and part of us walking the spiritual path is also coming face to face with shadow aspects. And it's important for us to acknowledge them, because a life lived with an integrated shadow, it's a successful life. While a life lived running away from the shadow, you don't want to be in that position, trust me. That's when addictions and all sorts of manners of issues come up to the surface. Diseases, lack of success, lack of love, feeling imprisoned in your own body. No, you don't want to fall into that, okay? So thank you kindly for listening. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Remember to become a member of this channel. I do have memberships. They are open. Follow me on my blog. I post articles, and I've been quite active, I would say. Not this year, but previous years. Also follow me on Instagram if you want short form readings. I have 3 other channels. I have a channel on chill meditation things, and you can also hang out with me as I do makeup and talk about my life. You can follow me on my gaming channel, Lexi Games, which debuted recently. Or you can follow me on the Spiritual Cosmos, which is the astrological channel. It's the sister channel to this one. So I would highly recommend that you go there for more astrological information if you feel so inclined. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in my next one. Ciao.